Hello, everybody. Not so very long ago, we talked about Brexit again, or rather about the opposite of Brexit. I was saying that I admit a few thousand British people want to rejoin the EU. And there was quite a lot of commentary on that subject. And there are only two comments. I didn't say anything back to these comments because I had made my point clear in the video. So I didn't think that there was any point in my repeating what I had already said. But some of the comments were very warm-hearted agreements with me, and that was, of course, very nice. But, and I thank you for it, but also I have no problem with people disagreeing with me, obviously. People disagree with each other the whole time. Only I don't know why some, of course only some of those who disagreed with me about rejoining the EU, which I'm all for, did that in rather vile language. And I really don't know why anybody has to abuse me or abuse other viewers simply because they disagree with each other. But that's not the reason why I come back to the subject. One point was never mentioned in the many commentaries that I received, and I think that's the most important, and that is peace. By the way, do you know that in 1946, so only 1 year after the end of the Second World War, the British Prime Minister Winston Churchill demanded that we'd form, and I quote, the United States of Europe. Yes, he did. He belonged, of course, to the generation who had lived through 2 world wars with an estimated number of dead of some 60 million people in the one war and another 20 in the other. Millions. And so right after, not only Churchill, in all the founding countries of the EU, on each side, there were very far-sighted men who got together, who understood that the least thing we need, the last thing we need is a third world war, and we had to do something about it, and we had to do something about reconciliation. And quite understandably, that wasn't easy for all those other nations to reconcile themselves with us, the aggressors, the Germans. But that is something I would like you never to forget. That is what the EU is about. Yes, step by step, it began by an economic union and further went on from there. But the basic idea of it is that we would never again raise weapons against each other. And if, until 2 years ago, you would have said to me, oh, come off it, Britta. That's 75 years ago. We've passed that. Until 2 years ago. Until the Russians attacked Ukraine, which none of us expected, or hardly any of us expected. Since then, very unfortunately, it was proved right, and the founding fathers of the EU were proved, and mothers, were proved right. What we need is getting together in order not to fight each other ever anymore. Think about that. Whenever you get angry about Brussels or about whatever, that's what it's all about. And one last small comment. I've only just been to Norway, where they still have their own currency. And I know that the British have a problem about giving away their pounds. I tell you, when we had to give away our Deutschmark, a very strong currency, we weren't very happy about it. And today, I don't know anybody, not anybody, who doesn't see how practical, how functional it is that we have only one currency, Like when I was young, people who traveled a lot, like myself, you had an envelope with a franc, you had an envelope with a lira, you had an envelope with a peseta, you had an envelope with a shilling, etc., etc. And it's just so handy that you don't need that anymore. So just think about it next time. It's about peace. See you.